Welcome to Inside the Content. We have someone who is very, very cool joining us today. Who are you?
I'm SleepySyren.
What's up, Sleepy? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you joining us today. As you know, we're about to dive into just your content creation journey and get to know you a little bit more from the other side. So to start it off, where are you from?
I am from Phoenix, Arizona.
Do you actually like it, or like what's it like in Phoenix?
I always refer to Phoenix as like discount California because I think it's cheaper to live here, but it's definitely more boring to live here. I think the beauty of Arizona is that if you are looking for like a bit more of a slower pace, because I know that California can feel very congested. It's nice for that. And California is like an hour flight away if you really wanted to go visit the beach or spend time there. So it feels like the suburbs of like California, I guess, as like a state.
But are you even? Well, I think I talked to, I believe, T, and she's from Arizona,
Yeah.
and y'all really don't have nothing out there, do y'all? Like
Nope.
no theme parks, no nothing.
Not really. I think technically we might have like a couple theme parks. We do have like indoor amusement parks as well, which is kind of interesting too. But yeah, like unless you like hiking and looking at like colorful dirt, going into mountains and getting stuck, like unless that's like your cup of tea, there's not really much out here to do besides like leave your house at night when it's not super hot and like go get something to eat. Which like the food out here is actually pretty decent, surprisingly.
What about the clubs? Do the clubs and bars be
Oh,
like lit?
you will not ask me about that because I do not go to clubs. I don't leave my house. So I'm not going to be up in the club like that.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I've only have I been like maybe younger, like in my early 20s, but it wasn't like I don't know. It wasn't really my thing. Like I'd rather go to like a pool hall or something like that and just play pool. But eh,
I would
more.
rather
I'm
stay inside and play Dungeons and Dragons. That is my vibe.
Hey, okay. I feel you. I feel you. Do you got a big family?
No, it's just the four of us. I have mom, dad, older brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is your older brother a gamer like you, or no?
Yeah, so it's kind of like that classic story of I got into gaming because my older brother and like our male like cousins would, play video games. And so I have been like gaming since I was like 3 years old. So I don't even think I could read like when I was gaming. I think I just went based off the vibes and didn't fully understand what I was doing. But yeah, I was out here playing games.
It's crazy. When I see you, I think that well, I thought that you would be like new to gaming and you was more like athletic.
Athletic.
Yeah.
What gave you that impression?
I don't know. Maybe because like I don't know, you just look like you would play like volleyball or like track and field. Or like you'll do like them sports that like that's not really like popular, like tennis. Like
Yeah.
you'll do those type of sports.
I mean, okay, well, I did take like ballet for like the
See?
first few years of my life, but I quickly fell out of love with that. I want to say maybe like 5 years I took ballet, but I am the most clumsy, the most, what is it called? Like hand eye discoordinated person ever. Like I could not play sports to save my life. The only thing that I was like even remotely good at was um I think it was called like flag football. I think that's what it was called that you played in like elementary school. You had like little like flags around your
Yep.
waist and like the guys were playing football. I can't catch a ball to save my life, but I was good at ripping their flags off. Like
So you
that
fast as
was,
hell. That's what I'm saying. Like
I
right
was
there.
pretty quick. I was pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah. Did you so like growing up? Was you playing like so we know you wasn't into like sports or whatnot. What about
Nah.
instruments?
Yeah, so I think that did we have to play? I don't know if we had to play instruments or if like I just decided to get into violin, but I did join like the orchestra in what is it, elementary school, and then middle school, high school I was in choir, but I can't sing to save my life. So I'm bad at sports and I can't sing.
That's what they always say. Like I'm pretty sure you could hit a note if you wanted to.
I probably could, but I would prefer not to because yeah, even though my name is Sleepy Siren, it's really just because of the resting voice and not because I could actually sing.
Hmm. So you really didn't like anything growing up.
I literally only liked video games growing up. Video games and anime, that's it. I was pretty much an outcast in terms of like my interest.
Did you get along with people like in school? Like, did you have a lot of friends, or were you just by yourself all day?
Um well, okay, so in elementary school, I want to say that I got on pretty well with my classmates. Like I was sort of like that person who was like just kind of like friends with everyone because they were nice. So I was like that nice like quiet kind of girl, I guess. And then I changed schools in middle school. That's when I started my private school education, and that was a nightmare. And so I went to like a
Why?
drastically smaller school. Yeah, because I got bullied. You know, that's why it was a nightmare, right? Some girl decided that she didn't like me, and so I became a social outcast in like middle school, and I just didn't find anyone who was also interested in like the same things that I was interested in until high school. That's when I met my ex best friend in high school, and like I kind of like recognized that she was like the same type of person as me from like first glance. Like I have like an anime lover like radar, and I was like, yeah, that girl looks like she likes anime, and so we quickly became best friends. But you know,
Hold on.
adulting, yeah,
I kind of want to go back to the middle school. What do you like? What
middle
do you
school,
mean? Like she decided that like she didn't like you and she bullied. Like he turned the whole class against you, or we just one on one? Like
yeah.
did y'all box? Did y'all fight? Like what's
No,
going
I've
on?
never fought anyone. It was more like this was also like a new girl that came into the school, and I feel like she was trying to like establish herself. And so by
Uh,
establishing herself, she needed to not establish like me. And so I think that it was a thing of she just didn't like me for whatever reason, and yeah, she just I guess like talked shit about me um to like other kids in the class, and then I sort of got like a bit like socially ostracized because of that. And she did apologize to me, I think, in like high school, like senior year of high school. She apologized, but I was like, girl, like,
that's a little bit too
what?
late.
Yeah, like it's senior year. We're graduating. Like she definitely just wanted to get that off of her conscience, but I don't forgive her. So I guess it doesn't really matter.
You said you don't?
Nah, I'm not the type of person to easily forgive. Like I feel like people are better than me. People like to forgive and forget and like move on, but like nah, I'm just like, no, I just don't fuck with you. You should feel bad for the rest of your life cuz like you don't have to bully people. Like I never bullied people. So,
You bullied
yeah.
me like 3 days ago.
Did I? Did I
No, no,
bully
no.
you or did I speak passionately to you? There's a difference.
There might be a little difference right there, maybe. So you don't feel like you got a little hate in your heart?
Oh, I absolutely do. Oh yeah, I hold grudges for sure. 100%.
What the hell is going on right now?
Nah. I mean, with
Sleepy,
me
why you
it's
holding grudges?
like it's hard for me to get to the point where I'd have a grudge against somebody. I'll just put that out there. Like I'm a very like patient, like open, like understanding person. Like you have to do something really bad for me to hold a grudge against you. So it's like it's not just like I have grudges against everybody. It's like people who like, intentionally like, try to hurt me or, are just like rude or like horrible people. Um or have like treated me like badly or maybe like people around me badly, I might like hold a bit of a grudge. Cause I believe that like life is too short to let people who like treat you badly like in your space and in your life. So if I decide that I just don't want to deal with you anymore, I'm just gonna not deal with you anymore, you know?
So you're cool. Well, they're cool with you. You'll forgive them if it's like if it's not intentional. But if it is, then it's just like I'm done with you
I
forever. It's on sight.
yeah.
Well, you don't fight. It's just I'm just gonna pretend you're dead for the rest of existence, or
I mean,
I'm gonna start talking
basically.
about you now.
I'm a very patient person though. Like I try to work things out and I try to like talk things through. And sometimes like you can't work things out and you can't talk things through. And that's like perfectly fine. Like they would have to do something pretty egregious to just be like dead to me. I have a very small list of people who are just like dead to me, but like yeah, it's
Damn.
just I I know that sounds really harsh, right? It's just that like I if you have a problem with me, I'm that type of person where I would rather you pull me aside one on one and let's like hash out what's going on. Cause um, I've had like situations where the vibe just wasn't vibing and like we were having a tough time communicating, like me and some other people. And so we got into the DMs. We talked about like where our communication issues were. And our relationship has been like better ever since. Like it's just gotten like exponentially better. And that's what I prefer to do. I like to work things out first, but I know that sometimes you can't work things out with everyone. And that's like fine to accept that, we can't be friends with everyone,
Why are
you
you trying
know?
to be the bigger person? Like I don't
What?
like. It was
I don't
cool.
know if
Like
I wouldn't call myself the bigger person because I still have
what
grudges,
the?
but, you know, I
Can we
try to work things
know
out. Mhm.
like what someone did? Like I don't need a
What
name, but like
someone
what's
did?
something that'll put them on that list that where they're just dead to you?
Yeah, I think that I mean, I guess it's like the normal things of like just being like a hateful person. Like that will sort of like put you on the list. I'm a very like open-minded person, like an open person, and I understand that we have like different beliefs and we come from different backgrounds and whatnot. But I think that instead of being like so up in like other people's business and trying to dictate how someone else lives their life, I think that you should just be like, okay, cool. Like you live your life that way. I live my life this way. But at the end of the day, hey, we both like anime, we both like video games. We can still like bond over that. So people who are just like, you know, hateful will be on that list. And then people who have a problem with me and then go post about that problem with me on social media, like they subtweet that problem that they have with me instead of just talking to me directly like a grown adult. Yeah, you're gonna go on my list.
Yeah, I'm about to go do that right now. Matter of fact,
That's
I'm getting tired of
crazy.
this. Your
Nah,
skin
that's
way too smooth.
crazy.
Like I don't like that. I'm finna go tweet about
Oh
it.
my gosh.
What's your skin routine for your face? Like I'm mad about this.
Oh, I mean, if you want to know, like I'm actually really bad at taking care of my face, if I'm being like completely honest. Like I'm the laziest person in existence and I'm probably like actually really disgusting, but I think that the best way to like take care of your face, like especially if you have like a lot of like acne or dark spots, is to get like peels. Like go to your dermatologist and get what's called like it's called like a chemical peel, and they have like different like intensities for different like skin tones and complexions and blemishes and whatnot. And so that actually cleared a bunch of my like existing like dark spots and like acne that I had. Of course, I'm wearing makeup, so my face is like extra smooth, but just in general, like having that peel to sort of like reset everything and then going from there, like following like a simple skincare routine, I think of like, cleansing and moisturizing, I think is like sufficient. You don't need to have like 7-step routine or anything like that. But just finding products that like work with your skin and talking to your dermatologist, I think helps a lot.
I mean, we on skin right now. I wasn't expecting to dive on this, but I
Yeah.
think me personally, I think my skin is just a little oily. I think it's just a
Yeah.
little oily.
Yeah.
You know, got to
Um,
dry it out every once in a while.
yeah, I actually went from having oily skin to dry skin after being on, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Accutane. I think they
I
call
probably
it
heard it in passing.
yeah, I think it's called like isotretinoin now, but basically it's something that like they put people on that basically if you have like cystic acne or had like a history of like cystic acne. I used to have really bad acne. Well, okay, well, not really bad. I thought it was bad, but like I guess like from a dermatologist's perspective, it actually wasn't really that bad. But like, you know, from like my own like insecurities, I thought it was really bad. And so I went on Accutane, and that like basically changed my skin type to from oily to like normal dry. And I actually prefer to have dry skin because like it's easier to hydrate your skin than it is to like dab oil off of your skin, you know?
Nah, that makes
So
sense.
yeah, that's why I like the dry skin, even though it's like it might sound kind of bad, like dry skin. Ooh. But yeah, I think it's easier to maintain.
When the hell did you have acne? Like, what part of your life was it? Like high
Oh,
school?
like high school into like my college years. Yeah, it wasn't until after I graduated from college that I went on Accutane. So yeah, I
Huh.
definitely was dealing with like moderate, I would say moderate acne probably is what they would call it.
All right, I got a bunch of random questions for you right
Okay.
quick.
Yeah,
All
for
right, on a
sure.
scale of 1 to 10, we're gonna have a little
Mhm.
game, right? On a scale of 1
Okay.
to 10, how friendly would people say that you are?
How friendly? I
Yes.
have no idea because I get mixed messages all the time. I get like, "Oh my god, you're so nice," to, "Oh my god, you're so scary." So, like, I have no idea. I'm gonna say maybe like a 7? I wanna say more
See,
people say that I'm pretty friendly.
and that's why I ask you because sometimes I feel as if your personality is not like you're not very expressive.
I'm what?
Hmm?
What does it mean?
I don't know. I just feel like it's I don't know. I think like it's like hanging out with the bro. You know what I mean?
Wait, 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 it feels like you're hanging out with the bro, but I'm not very expressive.
Right. Like you
What?
just cool. Like you not going like if we talking, it's like,
Yeah,
man, did you hear? You gonna be like this is your regular conversation. It should be like, hey,
yeah,
what's good, Sleepy? Nothing, just over here, doing my dailies. Oh, okay, that's what's
yeah.
up. Yeah. Hey, did you know what's going on with blah blah? You be like, oh yeah, I did hear about it. But you don't never put like no real emotion in your conversation. You know what I mean? Like you just put the
Wow.
facts in it. Like you more like a
What?
get to the point type of person. Like you don't have like
I
the emotion side to it. You know what I
I
mean?
I I am a very straightforward person, that's true, but I think that I'm a very passionate person. It just depends on like what I'm talking about, right? Like I like to make sure that the facts are out there if I'm trying to talk about like, you know, the tea that I heard or something, but I consider myself pretty like passionate and expressive. Dang.
Really?
Yeah, compared to some
Damn.
other people, that's crazy. Okay,
That
yeah,
hey
I guess
the I guess I maybe I'm tripping. I just feel like when I feel
maybe
like I'm talking. I kind of
yeah.
feel like I'm talking to myself when I talk to you because I'd be like,
What?
yo, what's the facts of it? Like, what are we really here to discuss? Is this like, what is the overall theme of the conversation? Like, I'm like that.
And you feel like you're wait, is that bad that you feel like you're talking to yourself? Is it not like "Oh, I feel like
Nah,
I'm
that's
talking to somebody like-minded"? Like, is it not that one of those kind of things?
nah. It's a good thing. Like, ain't nothing wrong
Right.
with it because then I'm able to be more relatable and I'm able to like the conversation can flow more smoothly. I don't have to feel like I
Right.
have to alter my words or say things differently or just
Yeah.
whatever to get my point across. I can literally just say it however I want, and you
Yeah.
won't take it. You won't be offended by it or whatnot.
Yeah. I like what is there to be offended by? Like, I think that
See, that's what I'm saying.
what wait, what does I'm confused. So I'm not an easily offended person, but that means that I'm not passionate?
It's just
I
me.
don't
I
yeah.
wouldn't. If I wanted to talk to you, and if I
Yeah.
had something to say, I wouldn't be on the defensive side of like, man, if I
Oh,
say this to Sleepy, she's gonna be like, "What the hell did you just say to me? That is
yeah.
unacceptable." Like, I don't see you as that. I feel like you'll be like, you'll try to understand why I said it versus just
Right.
totally just blowing up.
Blowing you off, yeah. Yeah, I think that's just, like, part of me has always been interested in, like, trying to understand people and, like, trying to, like, bring people together and, like, trying to find a middle ground because I know that, like, communication is hard, which is why I I typically try to stress that people step away from reading things how they think somebody is trying to say it, and trying to give people like maybe a bit more of the benefit of the doubt when they type things out. And so whenever I have like a dispute or something with somebody, I like to pull them into like a voice chat or something so I can hear their like tone and inflection to see if like maybe I'm like misunderstanding like how this person is trying to come off. So I guess I see myself as someone who likes to do their best to try to understand like other people, and I have a lot of patience for that, which is why I say that like it takes a lot for you to like push my buttons, um because I always come from the place of this person is probably like not trying to be offensive, but maybe they're like maybe they're a little bit ignorant to like whatever we're talking about. Maybe we can like help educate them a bit better so that they can walk away from this with like more knowledge on whatever subject matter dispute is happening. So yeah, I guess
See, right
that
there,
that
like when you
answers the
talk like
same.
that, I feel like you trying
Yeah.
to act like you better than everybody now.
Wow, I am
Nah, I'm
literally
playing.
not trying to do that. I'm actually actively trying to avoid like not cursing a lot, so that's probably why I'm talking like that.
You done already said like 5 bad words like within the first
There's
five
no
minutes.
way. There's no way.
Yeah. I'm gonna clip it and then I'm just put it in
That's
front of the video
crazy.
every time you curse. It's like 7 already, but
There's no way.
it is what it is, But hold on. What did you? I forgot the first question. You gave yourself a 7 on that. My next
Yeah.
question is: do you think that you are socially awkward?
Do I think I'm socially awkward? Um, wow. This is gonna sound so mean, but I'm not brutally honest. I'm a pretty like honest person. I think that comparatively to some people, I would say no. But if I'm just looking at myself, then I would say yes, because I am a bit more introverted. Like I can be extroverted, um, but I tend to like to keep to myself, in terms of like just like how I live my life. I'm like a pretty like it's weird. I'm a pretty private person, but I'm an extremely open book when I'm like actually talking like face to face with someone. It's really weird, but yeah, I see myself as a bit socially awkward compared to like people who are more extroverted, I guess is what I would say. Yeah.
No, I could see that because I'm like that too. Like I'm really I'm more private, and then like if I know you, then I'll tell you. But I'm not one of those people who just like to just advertise everything I got going on or what all
Yeah.
my business is.
Which is why
And that's like,
social media is hard for me. Like I don't like to like share my thoughts about everything all the time. If I'm passionate about something, then I'll share, but you guys don't need to know what I'm eating for breakfast and like the little like details about my life. I feel like it's not that interesting, but I don't know, maybe
there's
people
a
do
lot
want to
of
know that. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
there's a lot of people out there who want to know what you ate for breakfast.
Yeah. Apparently, which spoiler alert, I typically skip breakfast, so it is what it is.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mhm.
No. Why are you
No.
skipping the most important meal of the day?
I know, right? Okay, so I don't know what it is, but I typically wake up like pretty late, and by the time I wake up, it's usually getting more towards like brunch slash like lunch. And whenever I wake up, I feel like nauseated when I think about like eating something. So
Mm.
like it's hard for me to like be in the mood to eat something because I don't like feel like I feel like I'd be sick if I like ate something, and like a lot of like Western, I want to say like breakfasts are pretty like heavy. We have like pancakes and waffles and like bacon, like stuff like that. I feel like it'd be pretty like heavy on the stomach, like so early in the morning. So I'm just like, I typically like avoid eating breakfast and eat like a pretty big like lunch or something. I prefer lunch foods too. Like I prefer like lunch and dinner. Breakfast has never been like my favorite meal.
So you'll never eat breakfast for dinner?
Breakfast, I mean, sometimes if I'm in a very particular mood, sometimes I'll do brunch for lunch, sometimes I'll do breakfast for dinner, but I also like different kinds of cuisine too. So if I'm living somewhere where I can get access to like seafood for breakfast or like a Japanese style breakfast or like a dim sum or something like that, then I'm all for that. It's just that Western breakfast for some reason, like is it doesn't like mesh well with me. A little bit too heavy, I guess.
You like grits?
I LG, I I can't say that I 100% know what grits even are.
Cream of wheat.
Cream, is that what grits are? Cream of wheat?
They're like brother and sister, maybe to some
So
people.
I don't like cream of wheat because it's like kind of like mushy. I like oatmeal because it has more texture. I don't.
Okay,
Are grits supposed to be sweet or savory? They're savory, right?
it depends. Some people put salt and pepper
Oh,
and butter in it. Some people put sugar on them.
oh, okay. Yeah, I like brown sugar oatmeal, but yeah, I haven't had like grits.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Interesting. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, damn.
Listen. My dad is African and my mom, she I don't know why my mom doesn't. Okay, is are grits like a southern thing or are they just like a part of like black like culture kind of thing? Like I don't know if they're specifically southern because my mom is like from Maryland. I don't know if Maryland
I
people, I don't know, maybe she just doesn't like grits. Like I don't know.
I feel like grits is just one of the most popular hot breakfast items, but in the
Yeah.
South they do
In the
more with
South.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
maybe because of that, like she like doesn't have a taste for grits and therefore like I just never had grits. Maybe.
grits is one of those foods though where it's like you decide what it tastes like on how
Yeah.
you make it because most people make
Yeah.
it with water when you can make it with like milk or oat milk or
Yeah.
soy milk whatever and then you add like whatever you want to add to it to make
Yeah.
it taste how you want because it has really no taste unless you
Right.
season it up or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
This is
It's
crazy. I'm
yeah,
done talking
I
to you.
think that's the thing. Like I think that your parents can like greatly influence the kind of food that you eat. And if your parent doesn't like something, then you might not be like exposed to that thing. Like oxtail, for example. Like people are telling me, "Oh, oxtail tastes super good." I'm like, "I've never had oxtail before." And I literally called up my dad and I asked him, I was like, "Do you do you not like oxtail? Like how come we've never had this before?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't like it." I'm like, "Okay. Well, I guess that's kind of decided for me, but I'd like to try it at some point."
I can understand that
Yeah.
oxtails is like they're I don't know maybe I had a bad one. But they're real fatty. Like it's like little rewards. I like
Oh.
crab, so I like
Oh,
fighting for the
yeah.
meat inside the shell, and I'll be like, yeah, I
Yeah.
like it. But with oxtails, it was like it's little meat, more fat. So the reward wasn't really all that
Oh.
great. And I don't like fatty foods like that.
I don't like fat either like that. I like more lean meat. Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Oh, maybe I
I've
won't like
seen
it.
oxtails where they're not like that, and
Uh-huh.
you get more meat. But the ones I
Yeah.
was served, it was like 60% fat, 40%. I was like fighting for my life just to get what I wanted.
Not that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm. So, have you ever been to like a Caribbean spot, like jerk chicken,
Yes.
curry chicken, stuff like that?
Yeah, because my hairdresser for like the longest time, she's Jamaican and so she also happens to work at like a Jamaican restaurant and you know, she's friends with my parents and whatnot. So yeah, I've had like Jamaican food, not like I don't have like the biggest like experience with Jamaican food. I want to say that mostly I eat like Asian cuisine, like Japanese, Chinese, Korean, um, Thai, Vietnamese, like Asian cuisine in general is like more of my like palate, but I have had like Caribbean food. I haven't had Cajun food though, which
Okay.
I don't
Cajun is
know
nice
why.
if
Yeah.
you like the spice.
I do like spicy food. Yeah, I don't know why we've never done Cajun.
Hmm. So I hear you reference like both parents, your dad, etc., your
Yeah.
mom. Who
Mm.
are you closer to?
Ugh. Um, wow. I want to say that I'm not super close to either of my parents, really. But
Really?
yeah, we're just like different people, you know. Uh I wanna say that, like, I respect what my mom does, and I have a lot of, like, uh, admiration for my mom because she's a doctor, and she worked really hard to be where she is, and she's very well, respected in her field, so I'm very, like, proud of my mom. And then my dad was more of, like, the stay-at-home dad, like, breadwinner or not the breadwinner. My mom was the breadwinner, and my dad was more of the stay-at-home dad kinda type, so he was
Oh, okay.
supposed to be, like, the one to raise us, which, like, he cooked, he did the cooking for the family, but it's kinda like, "Here's a video game, go have fun with your brother, don't talk to me," kind of vibes. So,
Damn.
yeah, I wanna say that in terms of, like, having, like, intellectual discussions, I can have more of those with my dad because he's very smart, he's well-versed, he reads a lot, whereas my mom is her intelligence comes mostly from, like, medicine, so, like, that is her, like, narrow focus, right? She's very smart about medicine, but my dad is, like, more, like, general knowledge kind of person, so I don't know if I would say I'm necessarily closer to my dad, but I can have more of like a debate with my dad, I suppose, which I also really like. Yeah, I actually often joke that my dad is very much like if you took Ito from Genshin and Alhaitham from Genshin and combined them into one person, that's what my dad would be. Like he's loud, obnoxious, center of attention type, like all eyes on me. Uh, but he's also like incredibly smart. Um, so
That's what's up.
yeah. That's why I also don't like those 2 characters, but yeah,
Hmm.
that's my dad. I respect him though. It's just we're different people, you know?
So, can we confidently say that you got your personality from your mom then? If he's like the
Oh,
loud side and you're more
no.
like just on a particular subject, like how you are.
Okay, I wanna say more of like a mixture of both, right? Because like, my one critique of, like, my mom would be, I wish that she wasn't so, like, reserved, and I wish she would, like, stand up and, like, say her point or, like, speak up. Like, she's that type of person who, like, if a waiter messes up her food order, she'll just, like, not say anything. She'll just, like, accept that her food is, like, messed up, whereas I'd be the type of person who'd, like, be polite, but I would say something, be like, "Hey, like, this isn't what I ordered, like, is there anything we could do about this?" I wouldn't expect them to, like, give me free food or anything, it's just that, like, I would still speak up, right? And so, um, I wanna say that I probably got a bit more of, like, an argumentative kind of personality from my dad. 'Cause we would
Mm,
argue a
mm,
lot,
mm.
and I became that kind of person who, like, didn't wanna back down because, like, I wanted my voice to be heard and I wanted my opinion to be heard, and I feel like, you know, with him, sometimes he would just, like, brush me off or whatever, but, um, I guess it sort of, like, helped me, find my voice later on.
Yeah, cause I ain't gonna lie, you're really what's the word I'm looking for? You're very aggressive, I guess.
I'm
Like
very
you
aggressive.
aggressive, you kind of bully folks, you
That's
like you
crazy. It's the
you have a
false allegations for me. It's the
uh,
defamation for me.
you have a low tolerance for stupidity. Like it's
Damn. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, you're not
no,
wrong on
but
that one, but
yeah. So here we go. We up until college, I ain't gonna lie, we've been diving around a bunch of stuff, and
yeah.
I'm off topic. I have no idea where I'm gonna pivot to next. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, so growing up, quick
Mm.
little another mini game in here. What was your first console that you played?
Ooh, wow. I was so young. I forget if my first one was Nintendo 64 or if it was like the Game Boy. It's like a purple Game Boy, Game Boy Color. Like I
Oh yeah,
don't
that was Game Boy
know.
Color.
Yeah, I don't know which one came out first, but I know that the first, like, console with, like, a controller, Nintendo 64, handheld Game Boy Color.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause before that, it was just before Game Boy Color. Of course, it was Game Boy, and it was like Game
Yeah.
Gear, and then
Yeah.
well, yeah, something else that I'm missing, but Nintendo 64 dropped with the Nintendo with the Game Boy Color, so that was like
Yeah.
the same type of gen type of thing. So yeah, can you name your first games?
Oh, my first games? Probably like Pokemon Blue, because I like the color
Okay,
blue, even though I'm
okay, shout out to
wearing a
you.
lot of
Okay,
red.
okay.
Yeah, and then oh, Nintendo 64, like again, my years are all like mishmashed, but like Smash Bros played on that. There's a Pokemon Stadium, played those
Okay,
games.
okay.
There's a game called Hey You Pikachu, which I feel like nobody knows about, but Hey
Yeah.
You
Oh, I
Pikachu, I
know about
loved
that.
that game. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was probably my favorite game to play. Yeah.
Are you ass at Smash?
I don't play Smash anymore. I probably was pretty ass. Yeah, I'm not a very competitive person, honestly. I'm like more cooperative. I like if I'm playing Smash with someone, I like to play against the like computer like players and not like against the other person. But yeah, I probably wasn't very good at Smash. Like I never played it competitively or anything like that.
Like you wasn't on that Mario Kart?
I did play Mario Kart, Pokemon, Snap, like all that good stuff. Yeah, I did a bit of Mario Kart.
So and in high school, I know you said your ex bestie. You said ex
Yeah,
bestie, right? Or they still your
ex
bestie?
bestie. Yeah, we're not
Damn, that's
besties
crazy.
anymore. Yeah.
Kicking people out of your life.
I mean, people, you just grow. Sometimes you grow and sometimes the other person, like stays the same and you end up in like different places with different thoughts and opinions on things and you just don't mesh up anymore. And that's like fine. People grow apart all the time.
I think that says more about you as a person than them. It shows that you're not willing to accept people, which means you're cold hearted.
What? What? That's crazy. What? I just have like a very particular, well, I can't say I have a very particular like set of views, but I'm very like open and accepting of how others like live their lives and how others express themselves, right? Whereas I feel like they were a bit more like conservative about like how other people live their lives and how other people express themselves. And so I think that's where that came from. And it was just like, I feel like we just didn't like mesh up very well after that. Yeah.
Mm, okay. Well, how long did it last? How many years did that last?
Oh, it lasted quite a long time, like high school, even into college. It's just like when I got back from college, that's when I started noticing like the differences and how like
Mm,
this person kind of like stayed the same basically, whereas I had like drastically changed during my time in college.
got it. So you called them
Yeah.
trash when you came back. Got it.
That
Okay,
I
cool.
did not do
So
that at all. We just gradually grew apart. Yeah.
what are your top five animes?
Ooh, 5. Ooh, that's
Yeah, you get
hard.
five.
Yikes. Okay, so 90s Sailor Moon, um,
Okay.
Ap Apothecary Diaries is like a more recent one.
Never heard of
Wow,
it.
5 of them. That's a lot. I'm trying to think. Fruits Basket remake I really liked.
Okay,
Um,
I got the manga.
yeah, I guess I'll throw in like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because I feel like, everybody just kind of likes that anime and I also really like it too. That one was good. And then maybe my next one would be like Death Parade, which I feel like is
Okay.
another kind of niche one.
Nice. Okay. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. What year did you start? I just asked that just to help me
Yeah.
pivot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll be honest with you, cause I'm like, hey, let's go. What year did you dive into the content creation? Like, when did that kick off?
Yeah. I want to say I want to say it was around 2020 that I
I'm so,
started getting
I'm, s-
seriously into content creation. Yeah?
I'm so tired of you damn COVID babies
Yeah.
coming
I mean,
around content.
I was sort of
Like,
like
what?
slowly getting into it, but my first official like Twitch stream was like November 11th, 2020. So it's 11/11/2020. Easy date to remember. That's when I first like ever streamed, but like before then I was like slowly building up like my Instagram and like posting cosplay, but I guess that's like the
Mm,
date that I consider me getting into more like content creation.
So do you feel as if your cosplays are because nice cosplay that you got on right now, like you
Thank
actually like I
you.
feel like you take it serious. I feel like you will go broke on a cosplay just to make
Oh,
sure it is a hundred
absolutely.
percent accurate.
Yeah, so I will definitely go broke on a cosplay. Like accuracy, I try my best to get as close to the character as possible, but also like I want to make sure that I put this out there that like cosplay is like definitely not an accuracy contest. It's more of like an expression of love. And it's like for me, it's like, well, if I'm gonna do that character, then I'm gonna try to like nail it, I'm gonna do like the best that I can with, like, the resources that I have, and a lot of the times my cosplays are, like, funded by my community, so I really want them to have something, like, really cool that they can see on stream, so, um, I feel like wigs really can, like, sell a cosplay, so I'm really big on getting my wigs commissioned by people who are way more skilled than I am, but I also, like, support I guess, the cosplay community by that, like, I am not, if I'm being, like, completely honest, I am not very skilled at, like, making my own costumes. The most that I can really do is, like, make a few accessories for costumes. Um, but I'm also extremely open about, like, where I get my products. So if anyone ever sees me wearing something, um, I'm always tell people, "Feel free to slide into the DMs. I'll give you, like, an itemized list of where I got everything, from contacts to makeup to, like, who I commissioned for XYZ, or even, like, how I made something, if I did, like, actually make something." So, yeah, very open about cosplay. I think that cosplay has become way more accessible these days. And I'm very like happy for that because it really is a nice way to express your love for a piece of media or IP, like whether or not you bought your cosplay or you made it yourself. And like definitely huge shout outs to people who can make their own cosplay. Like I wish I had the time and skill to do that because I know it's a lot.
I feel like you'll gatekeep cosplayers. I feel like you come off like a
I
gatekeeper now.
I
Like
feel like I feel like there are a lot of people who do gatekeep, which is why I don't like to gatekeep. Yeah, I'm the opposite of a gatekeeper. Like if I have like an opportunity or something come to me, I'm gonna tell people this is how you can get your bag, or this is how you can like have a better cosplayer. Like this is where I got my stuff. If you literally want to copy my exact cosplay, I'll give you like everything to copy it because I don't believe in gatekeeping. Like, I don't see a point to it.
when was your first cosplay?
When was my first cosplay?
Yeah.
When? Uh,
Yeah, like, do you know, like, when you first like, your first one that you put together and actually, like, took pictures of and you were like, "Oh, Imma post this is
oh,
nice," and who was it?
oh, like took pictures. Yeah, Nessa from Pokemon. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I don't know if you guys remember when Sword and Shield had like I think it was like an E3 when E3 was still around. I think they had like an E3 trailer or something like that. And they like debuted Nessa, who's like the black gym leader. She's black coded. Like I guess like technically we don't know like what the race of people in Pokemon are, but she's like a very like much like black coded gym leader, like at the very least. And I thought she was stunning. I thought she was gorgeous, and I was like, "Wow, like, I want to do this cosplay, like, I want to look like her, I want to be her," and so that's kind of like, um, how I got back into cosplay after college. Nessa is what got me back.
Do you feel as if your cosplays are steady, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Do you feel as if the presentation of your cosplays are stagnant, like, right now? Like,
Yeah.
every time I do a cosplay, they 9 out of 10, or do you feel as if every time you put one on, you just getting better and better with it?
Uh Well, I think that it depends on, like, what I'm working on or, like, what I hope to achieve. Like, sometimes I'll, like, invest a little bit more in a cosplay, sometimes I'll invest a little bit less in a cosplay. It really just depends on, like, how I feel about that character. So if I feel, like, very passionately about a character, then I might be willing to spend, like, a bit more money to get something, like, that's, like, custom made, custom tailored, and, um, has a bit more, detail that goes into it. And if I'm like kind of like, oh, I just kind of want to do this for fun, I might do something simple and like be a bit more creative with like maybe wearing like a curly wig or something like that. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily getting better at cosplay, but I definitely am out here investing more in like characters that I'm very passionate about for sure.
Not not on a financial side, but how much
Yeah.
time was put into that Dia cosplay?
In terms of like putting it on or like the people who made it.
Like the I guess the whole overall, I don't know, like walk me through like the whole process of like deciding like what you need, the contacts,
Yeah.
like putting it on, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Like what's the whole, like walk me through that, cuz I don't cosplay. So like how long
Yeah.
does it actually take to put this stuff together?
So, okay, I feel like those are like there's like different questions, right? Because like
Hell
putting it
yeah.
on can take like, a couple hours. Like it could take like 2 hours to put your costume on. But like the actual like process of making a cosplay, it could vary depending on like what the cosplay is and like if you bought it versus if you made it yourself. So like for me, there was like not a lot of like time investment in terms of like me making the costume because I didn't make it. I did like alter it like a little bit to fit my body a bit more. But yeah, the time investment for me was not that much. It was a simple thing of, okay, I want to do a Dia cosplay. Does somebody sell Dia cosplays? And you could find this costume on Doki Doki, or on Amazon, I believe as well. You can get it like shipped to you pretty fast, I believe, on Amazon. So it's like, okay, let me find that costume. It comes to you. A lot of the times, like there'll be pieces that don't fit quite well. And so like what I then do is I try to find ways to get that particular cosplay to fit my body a bit better. So for this one, I might have had to like shorten a few straps. I might have had to um uh fix some of the like straps on it so that it like fit more skin tight to like my body and my body shape. And so like I would do stuff like that. And then for the wig, I actually had this wig commissioned um last year. Not that the wig took a year to
What the
make.
hell?
It's just that it took like a year to get to me because the seller had like stuff going on in their life. So the wig was like very like heavily delayed by that. So I feel bad that my community had to wait like a whole year for this cosplay, but I'm glad that it was worth it in the end because the wig did turn out like really, really nice, and I'm very appreciated to
So you
the
had the wig
person
custom
who made
made,
it.
like you was like, I got a big ass head, like, or I got a small ass head. I need
Yeah,
this to.
yeah. You send your head measurements to the person who makes the wig, and they will custom make you a wig. Yeah,
What the hell?
yeah. It's pretty crazy. Like people have like some amazing craftsmanship. Like I I can't like mess with hair and wigs to save my life. So yeah, I sometimes I think of myself as more of like a cosplay model because it's more like I'm modeling like other people's creations, and I do make sure that I like tag people so that others can know like where I got my cosplay from. But I think that like any way you choose to cosplay is like valid. Like don't be ashamed of like you don't have like the time or like the skill to make your own costumes. I think that as long I think cosplay should just be a thing of if you want to show love to a character, that's how you should treat it, basically.
I think also people don't take in consideration the makeup, like, cause
Yeah,
then that's like
makeup.
another part of the process
Yeah,
too. That probably did that go into the 2 hours of
yeah,
putting it on, or that's separate?
yeah. So the 2 hours of putting it on is like because okay, well, Genshin cosplays in particular are like there's a lot of pieces and a lot going on with them. So putting it on and figuring out like the pieces of the puzzle, like that's what typically takes a lot of time. So I want to say getting this costume on, like just the clothing, maybe that takes about like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes to do to like figure out, okay, like this piece goes here, this piece goes here, this is how you put it on. So it's like solving a puzzle almost. And you get better and better and like faster and faster, like as you put them on.
Mm,
The makeup takes me about like 30 minutes to like an hour because like I usually have like my contacts in first. I pull up a picture of Dia and I try to do like my makeup very like similarly to her. And that could take like quite a bit of time. And I'm that type of person. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I'm also a wanderer when I do my makeup. So if I'm not at home, like if I'm at like a hotel getting ready for a con, I'll be like in one mirror doing something, and then I'll walk around to a different mirror to like a different angle to do something else. And so I just like wander around my like hotel room doing like different aspects of my makeup. And so I think that that sort of distracts me a little bit too. But yeah, it takes like maximum like about 2 hours, I would say, for me to get into cosplay.
hmm. What are your top 3 favorite cosplays you've done?
Um, Top 3 favorite cosplays. Definitely Nessa's my favorite.
Okay.
Um, 'Cause yeah, she got me back into cosplay. Um, I had a lot of fun doing, Mina Ashido from My Hero Academia. That cosplay required some, like, body paint and, like, figuring out how to go about, like, putting on paint on, like, my skin complexion, being like a brown person, like a maybe a darker skinned person. Like body paints don't always show up on our skin the way it might show up on like someone who like is like paler skinned. So like finding products to make it like opaque and like to make it the color so that it matched the I wore arm socks instead of, like, painting my arms. Arm socks
Oh,
are
okay.
basically like these, like, sleeves that you can wear to make your skin, like, look like they're that color, and they're, like, super nice because they don't, like, transfer paint or anything like that, so they're really nice for that reason, and so, like,
Okay.
finding makeup that worked for me and my skin tone was, like, the hardest part of that, like, cosplay because I that was my first time, like, ever doing anything with body paint, so I enjoyed that one quite a bit, and, yeah, I guess I also like my Genshin cosplays, like, between Candace and Dia, like, I think that I like them, like, pretty evenly. Maybe Candace is a bit more comfortable to wear than Dia because like, this wig is, like, super heavy, but, yeah, I do like my Genshin cosplays too, I'd like to do Kaya at some point, but, yeah, showing the
With you
melanated
doing
characters some love. Yeah,
who you gotta show who love?
the melanated characters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I ain't gonna say why I had to get you to say that part again, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We definitely have to show love to our melanated characters, which, by the way, I will be doing Pyro Archon cosplay, a very much melanated Pyro Archon cosplay. So, yeah, honestly, that might be my last like really big like Genshin cosplay that I do. Depending
Okay,
on like
okay,
how things
okay.
go.
With you doing cosplay, you know what I'm saying, because that's art at the end of the day. Do you
Right.
take requests? Like, do you got like a OnlyFans, a Fansly, or passes now that people do and like take requests or
Um,
post your sets? Like, do you do anything like that, or you just take it for fun? We'll take pictures for fun after you put it on.
um, yeah, I take pictures for fun. I mean, yeah, if I'm getting paid, I'll take requests, right? Like if someone is bold enough to ask me for like a particular quest and like they're willing to pay for that particular request, then yeah, like I'll take it. Like I'm a pretty like open person. Like that stuff doesn't really like bother me. Um but yeah, it's a thing of I don't take requests from people who aren't trying to financially support the cosplay because it's like, listen, I don't have a lot of funds to spend like infinitely on like every character that you'd want to ever see me wear. Like if you're willing to, fund that cosplay, sure, yeah, I'll wear it, I'll do it, I'll knock it out of the park. But yeah, I when it comes to like custom requests or like special requests or even like scandalous request, yeah, if you pay for it, sure, why not? You know?
Now, what's your definition of scandalous?
Scandalous? I guess like I have never done like anything like nude, even though on my Twitter it does look like I'm naked in my Dia cosplay pic. I wasn't actually naked. It was like my teaser for my Dia cosplay. I had a top on, but that was just like for the artistic kind of look for that. But yeah, I don't do like any like no clothing kind of stuff, but like if it's like sexy kind of clothes or like lingerie or something like that, like I'm pretty open to that kind of stuff. Like that, yeah, that's pretty okay with me.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Like
I
I
asked
don't
that because
yeah, I
go
don't like
ahead.
make like that content. Like I don't have an OnlyFans or anything like that. It's more of like a case by case basis. So it's like if someone like were to hit me up and be like, "Hey, you know, do Dia, but do it in lingerie and I'll pay you money." Like, sure. Like, I'll take your money. I'm trying to buy husbandos and gotcha games, you know?
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell going on? The
Yeah.
reason why I asked though, because some of your stuff on Instagram looked like you did like photo shoots and whatnot.
Yeah.
You got them like professionally done.
No, all of that was taken by myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
I
damn.
don't have any friends. So I needed to learn to do that by myself. Yeah.
We got to get you out the house or something. We got to.
Right? I need
You know
friends.
what's
I need
crazy?
people who can take photos. Yeah.
You say you don't have no friends, but there's like maybe about two or three people that I know that consider you a friend. But I'll
What?
let them know that you don't have no friends.
Who are these people? Who are these people who think that I'm their friend? Cuz maybe we are friends. Like I just don't know.
Hey, I'm not trying to have no viral moments on here where
Oh my
people get
gosh.
the harsh reality of Sleepy saying, "I don't even like you like that," so you need to stop trying to put
That's
me in your circle.
crazy.
So,
So here's my thing, right?
it is what it is. At the end of the day, I just find
H-
it. This
Here's
goes
my thing
back to,
about
I
like,
guess, our conversation at the 10-minute mark, where you kind of ask,
wow, that's crazy. Here's my thing about like friendships though, right? Cuz like I definitely think that you can be friends with people online. Like 100% I believe you can do that. It's just that for me, I feel like it doesn't solidify our friendship until I meet you in person and the vibe is still there in person. Like I can like still like be friendly with you and feel good about you like online, but I think the in-person interaction is what is like yeah, you're my friend. Like we're 100% friends. I think that that's usually what I need to be like, yeah, this person's my friend, you know. But like,
that's very.
I
Go
don't know.
ahead.
But like yeah, like if I'm friendly with you and we have like good banter, then it's like more than likely you are my friend. It's just that meeting in real life is just that like confirmation of yeah, we're 100% friends, and it's not just like a parasocial relationship kind of thing.
That's hard to do with you though, because you've already admitted you don't go outside.
I don't go outside. Yeah, that's hard. It's rough out here if you're trying to be my friend, I guess.
The hell? Ain't no way. All right, look, check this out. So you did your cosplays, right?
Yeah,
Then you started your streams in November 11, doing your stuff during COVID.
yeah.
What the hell was you playing when you first came on to
Uh,
Twitch?
Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah, so I didn't finish that
What?
game. Yeah, and I wanted to finish it. And so that's why I started streaming to like give myself like a goal and like a task to finish that game. So Breath of the Wild was the first thing that I ever streamed.
Favorite game to stream online?
Currently,
Yeah.
Wuthering Waves,
Favorite game to
100%.
play offline?
Wuthering Waves.
Oh hell nah. Hey, Sleepy. Come on,
Wait,
no,
wait. I
nah.
also like Love and Deep Space. I also like Love and Deep Space, but Wuthering Waves and Love and Deep Space probably my favorite games right now.
Oh man, what happened to you? What happened?
How did I
When
become
did
a
this?
gotcha gamer?
Yeah, what happened to you? Like, ain't no way.
Yeah. Well, probably my community, Uh, they got me into Genshin Impact. I avoided Genshin Impact for the longest time actually. Like one of the reasons why I didn't play Genshin Impact was because like I thought it looked super cool, but I was like, dang, why is there no like character creation? Like, why can't I be black? And so that's actually one of the reasons why I avoided Genshin for the longest time. But eventually
Mm.
my community wore me down. They're like, "Oh, like, you should play. You like anime. You'll like it." And I was like, "Ah, fine, whatever. Like next time there's a cute anime boy on the banner or whatever, I'll like play. I'll like swipe and like get the whole feel of like gotcha games and go from there." And yeah, Child was my first. He was my first like limited 5-star character. People thought I wasn't gonna like him, but little did they know that I never grew out of my bad boy phase, and so I like the bad boy with a heart of gold kind of like trope, where it's like they're a bit like misunderstood, but and they might do some like morally questionable things, but at the end of the day, they do have like aspects of them that are like very much redeeming. Um, and maybe it's just a thing of like their goals don't align with like your particular goals as like the protagonist. And I'm like okay with that. Like I feel like I have more like empathy for these types of characters, for like morally gray characters, because I want to understand like how they think and what makes them tick and like what decides their morals. So I find them like very fascinating. Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way what.
Ain't no way. Like I'm still every time you talk about child
I love
tarantula,
him.
tartalia, whatever, I just
Hey, go easy on my
I just
ex.
I just can't believe I'm just like out of all the characters that then came out, him.
Yeah. He's I want to say that like of the tall male characters, he has quite like a bright and sunny kind of personality. I also like Kaya. Like don't get me wrong. I think Child and Kaya are like my top like or were my top. I should speak in the past tense. They were my top husbandos in Genshin Impact. But yeah, I just liked I like characters that will fight me, and stab me in the back, but also like be my friend and be very like happy and like upbeat. I think that his sunny personality is like what particularly like drew me to him. And the fact that like he's kind of like Goku. Like he just likes to fight stuff. And like when I play gacha games, I just like to fight stuff. So it's like I also kind of like resonated him with him on that level. Like if he's trying to get the smoke, I'm trying to get the smoke. So yeah, I
And I
like
think
him.
my biggest problem with him is just
Yeah.
his outfit. Like I like it. I like
His
his
outfit
demeanor and
is
his
whack.
personality, but
Yeah.
it's
The delusion
trash.
outfit I think is better. The darker
Yeah,
like outfit with the mask. Like I
yeah,
think that is a better look. The one
yeah.
he has that's like default, like I don't really care for it either, but I like him more for like his personality than like his appearance, really.
Well, I don't like him at all. But
I know. A lot of people don't like him. I don't know why. I feel like I don't get it, but yeah, I
like
like
when
him.
he pops up, I'll be like, okay, we about to get like a real nice cutscene. But if it's just like, oh
Oh
my
yeah.
god, I like child, I'm like, yeah, no,
I don't get
I
it. I
don't
don't
know.
get why. I think he's great. I think that people are too hard on him. He just wants to fight stuff. He's like a simple guy.
I think people would love him if he were like what's that one character that we still haven't gotten to play yet, but he's been around since like the beginning.
Still
The
haven't got
dude, you see him every time it's a quest with your brother or your sister.
quest with Dane's leaf.
Yeah. If he was like that, I think people would like him more. Like if Child came out at a later time, I think people would be like, "Man, Child is good. He's dope." Da 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 da. Because there's nothing wrong with this kid. He's
You
still
know,
viable in today's game. But I think it's just because he's just been out the longest. People are like just
no.
fed up.
So I've talked to people about this. I think that does play into it partially, right? Like people are like tired, like they have Tartaglia fatigue from like all of his banners. Like that does play into it a little bit, but it's also that people genuinely like misunderstand him as well, or they don't like villains. Like I've talked to a lot of people in the Genshin community who just straight up told me, "Oh, I don't like bad guys," and it's like, well, okay, then I can't really change your opinion too much on that. Like I don't see him like necessarily as a bad guy. I think I see him as someone who's willing to do whatever it takes to like get the job done. Um,
Mm.
but I don't see him as somebody who would like intentionally like try to like harm people if he didn't think that something would like save them. Like for example, the whole Leah Archon quest. I feel like people give him like a lot of crap for that and they fail to like remember that Zhongli is the one who like set that all up to like test his people. Child was literally just the delivery boy of chaos, I suppose. And his task was go to Libe, try to get the gnosis, whatever means necessary. And he was like, okay, bet. Like the best way to bring out an archon is to threaten their nation. Cause like there's no way that Zhongli would not step in to try to save his people. And if he didn't, then like that just means he's a trash archon, right? So I think that he made like a very calculated risk to get his archon what she wanted, which was the gnosis. And people give him crap over that. And I'm just like, he was just doing his job. And at the end of the
That's
day,
fair.
Senora even like comes out and says like, yeah, Zhongli could have easily clapped Osile, but we like wanted to make sure that the people of Liga can like handle him not being around so that he can go off and retire. Meanwhile, Xiao is still out here like suffering, but it is what it is.
That's fair. That's a cool comparison. Eh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. I don't really have an opinion about it. I'm just gonna say okay to.
No, that's
That's
fine. Very passionate about my ex. I still love that
Ah.
man.
So it's 2024, starting 2020. You for you, streaming may be different for you because, well, from you to me, because guess what? I'm not a girl. So, for
Okay.
you, do you have any, like, for me, I don't get harassed like that on Twitch or like when I'm
Yeah.
live. Like, I don't just have people coming in my stream like on some weirdo shit. Is that like something
Mm.
common for you, or is it like, do you have chill streams or whatnot?
I want to say
'Cause
for the
especially with
most part.
cosplays, I feel like when you
Yeah.
cosplay, people get a little bit more riskier, you know what I mean? They'll test your limits, especially, like, if you, like I don't know if your
Yeah.
cosplay is, like, on the lewd side or it's, like, exposing a lot of skin, people just they don't really, take time to understand the personality
Yeah.
that you are, they just look at you at face value and be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm about to try something right now."
Yeah. I mean, I do have some like weird people that come in, but like that kind of energy is not something that like I really care about. It's like if someone is like very sexual towards me, it's just kind of like a okay. It's like you're throwing that energy at like a brick wall. It's like thanks. Like I'm glad that you feel that passionately sexual towards me. Like good for you. Like like I don't know, like it's just like a weird thing where it's like I don't really get like offended by that kind of stuff. It just doesn't like it just it's a net like zero kind of thing to me. Like it doesn't really mean anything to me. But yeah, I do get like people making those kind of comments and I do typically just like joke around to like I'll throw a joke back at them, but I've never really had an issue with like men being like weird or like parasocial, but I feel like that's because I'm very, like, honest about the type of person that I am on stream, and I feel like men quickly figure out that, like, I'm a hot ass mess. I'm super, like, dysfunctional, like, I'm a very, like, messy person. Like, I'm one of those, like, messy creatives. I'm, like, one of those creatives who, like, will just have a bunch of shit, like, all over the floor and won't clean it up for, like, 2 months or something like that, but and I'm very honest and open with people about this. So I feel like there's no way that you could form like a parasocial relationship with me because I'm so like so much of a mess. Like I'm not like any way, shape, or form like anybody's like ideal kind of girl because like I don't got my shit together. I'm sorry, I'm saying the S word a lot. I can stop. I can stop
No,
cursing.
I already told you what I was gonna do. That's
Yeah.
11.
That's 11. Are you counting? I'll stop, I'll
No,
stop. I feel bad. I don't know, like, what words are, like, safe to say, so let me tone it down a little bit, but I don't have my stuff together at all.
it's too
So,
late. I'm not editing it out.
dang.
Way too late.
Dang.
So you don't. So you have people ever be like, "Oh yeah, if we ever meet in person, I want you to wear that Candace cosplay." Like,
No, I don't actually.
oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely not.
Are you? Do you care for compliments? I feel like somebody like you. I don't feel like you even give a damn about a compliment. Like you look good in the cosplay, but you just be like, "Yeah, I know." Like I don't know. It's not the compliment more so. It's more about. It goes back to the conversation of how accurate you are. You don't necessarily care if people think you look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, like, I think that everybody, to an extent, likes compliments. Like, I feel like for me, like, receiving compliments, like, always makes me feel, like, a bit awkward because it's like I'm that type of person where I feel like I need to compliment you back if you compliment me. So like even like receiving gifts, like compliments, gifts, things like that. I feel like, oh, well, I need to give something back to you if you give something to me. So like that's always been like a little bit awkward to me. So I typically just, say, oh, like thank you so much. And like play it off like very like shy and awkward because I am like shy and awkward. But yeah, I'm
So
happy when people appreciate the cosplay, but yeah, compliments are just kind of like they're nice. I just feel like awkward about them.
would you rather somebody be like, "Damn, you ugly, JK, ha
That's
ha ha ha,"
crazy. I
like
don't think
jokingly,
so.
like,
No,
oh.
like yeah, definitely not that, but yeah. Receiving I guess the thing about receiving compliments is that I always feel like unworthy of like people's like kind words. And so when I do receive people's kind words, I don't know what to do with that. but I'm
What?
grateful for them, you know? Like, I'm grateful for, compliments, but yeah, I just feel awkward because I guess I feel like I don't deserve them, you know?
Are you Thor or something? You trying to call the what Mjolnir to you or something? Like trying to get the hammer to come to you? Like, what do you mean not
What
worthy?
does that mean? Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know, it's just yeah, I think that, like, when you've, grown up believing, like, a certain thing about yourself that, like, you are this, like, horrible, mean person, right? That, like, you're not deserving of, like, certain things, and I guess that's, like, just one of the things that I never, like, thought I was deserving of or, like, got over that, maybe I am, like, an actual, like, decent person who is, like, deserving of having, like, nice things said about them. Like, I usually am very confused when people say nice things about me because I think I still have this impression that, like, I'm this horrible person, but, yeah, it's just something that I never really, like, worked out, I guess, with myself. Yeah.
So, are you telling me right now that damn, I lost my train of what the
Damn.
hell? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me draw back. You you don't think you're a good person?
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I don't think my family thinks I'm a good person, and they've been telling me that I'm, like, a horrible person all my life, and I just kinda, I guess, believe that. So I don't actually know, like, if other people think that way about me as well, and, like, when they don't feel that way about me, I'm just like, "Dang, well, what do you like about me? Like, what do you mean I'm not this horrible person that my parents say that I am?" Like, I don't know.
Are are you insecure?
Am I insecure about,
Yeah.
like, who I am as a person?
Yeah.
I think I'm, like, okay with who I am as a person, but it's like, I don't know, maybe that is, like, insecurity. I don't know what it is to, uh like, be okay with who you are, and, like, I don't really care too much about, like, how other people see me at the end of the day, because it's like, as long as, like, I'm, like, content with myself, and as long as, like, people aren't out here, like, trying to cancel me on Twitter, I guess, then it's like I must be, like, a relatively decent person, right? But I guess I do find it, like, a bit hard to believe that, people would want to be, like, my friend, but I don't think that, like, I'm that bad of a person, but I think that is just years of, like, my parents telling me their opinion of me, which is that I'm not a great person, is what I guess leads me to believe that maybe I'm not, you know?
So are you like are
Yeah.
you a spiritual person? I'm not gonna say religious because that's like a lot of people follow different stuff or whatever. But like spiritually, or
Yeah.
like, do you consider yourself spiritual
Um,
or whatever?
I wouldn't say that I'm spiritual, but I'm definitely reflective. So I will, like, reflect a lot um, about myself. I'll do a lot of self-reflection on, like, how things make me feel and formulate my opinions about things. So I will take a lot of time to do some introspection, but I wouldn't say that I'm, like, a spiritual person. Yeah, I'm
So
just
you
a
do talk to yourself.
I do talk to myself, actually. I don't, like, do it a lot.
See,
Like, I don't talk a lot to myself. I have, like, an inside head kinda conversation, but I mean, sometimes it, like, spills out and I'm, like, trying to work through something, so I'll, like, speak it out, but yeah, typically, I think a lot in my head.
I
Cause,
definitely
cause
talk to
like,
myself out loud. Forget that.
the people in my family do that. They talk to themselves out loud, and I just be out here looking at them like they crazy.
You got to hear yourself sometimes to see if it makes
Like, you
sense.
do, you do. You do have to hear yourself, yeah. But they be having, like, full conversations with themselves just out loud, and I'm just like, "Okay, I
That's
guess."
me. Yep, that's me right
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
If
for
I'm
real, for
if I'm
real.
in private, then maybe I'll, like, have an out loud conversation, but in public? Nah.
So, long story short, you damn. This is
Yeah.
kind of so you think you
I'm trying
damn.
to dissect my
Yeah,
psychology right
like
now.
so the who you are as a person,
Mhm.
you measure that based on the perception of what people think about you?
It's weird, right? Because it's like, at the end of the day, like, I don't really care about what people like think of me because like I'm just gonna present me as, you know, like honestly
Right.
as
Yeah.
possible. And like I understand that like I'm not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. But I
Yeah.
do get surprised when people like actually do like me for who I am because yeah, I've been told, I guess, my whole life by my parents that like I'm not that great of a person, you know? So I think
That's what
it's
I'm
just like
saying.
oh,
Like you don't
like
care, but then
okay.
you getting told one thing this, and then you hearing the opposite from other folks. Like, what the hell? Like, hold on. And why would they telling
Yeah.
you that in the first place? Like, what kind of like would you just mean as hell or rude or something? Like, why they telling you
Nah,
that?
I think it was a thing of like again, like I am a pretty like argumentative. I guess my dad
Oh,
would call me
okay.
like an argumentative person, and that like I will not back down from like an argument because like I want to have like my side heard. And like we're just my parents and I were just like different kinds of people, right? Like uh yeah, it's one of those things where, like, you don't, like, choose your family. You can still love them, of course, but, like, I wouldn't consider my family like my friends, you know? They like different things than I like. Um, I might have, like, if I'm being completely honest, some, like, wishes that maybe my parents are a bit more supportive of, uh, me and, like, my interest growing up, which is, like, something that is, like, a trope in, like, anime that often, like, gets me to tear up, like, parents who are, um maybe not like overly supportive, but like very like highly supportive of like their kids and their kids' like aspirations and their dreams and their like interests and passions. My parents are very much those kind of parents who are like, "Oh, we want you to be this kind of way. Like, we want you to be a doctor or a lawyer or like we want you to take these classes and, you know, I know that you're interested in this thing, but yeah, don't do that." You know, it was like very much that kind of thing where it took me a while to just be like, I'm gonna do what I want to do and do the things that make me happy rather than do the things that make my parents happy. And so I feel like there was probably a lot of tension because of that. Like I had certain interests, I felt like I wasn't heard, and my parents wanted me to be this type of way, you know, that I didn't want to be. So it's probably they think that I'm like a horrible person because I didn't like follow, I guess, their path for me, I guess, you know. And we have, like,
Yeah. I mean,
arguments regarding that.
yeah. I mean, I kind of think you're a horrible person, but at the
That's
same time,
crazy.
like,
Dang.
you good in my book. Nah. Um, what all content do you provide on your platforms? Like, we know you got the
Yeah.
Instagram with the cosplays. We know you stream, you got your games with your husbandos. Like, but what else are you out there doing that people may not be aware of, or just like you want to bring more attention to?
Well, I don't know if I wanna bring more attention to it, but you may or may not be aware that I also do ASMR, or I did ASMR and I need to do more ASMR, but I do have, like, a ASMR channel where in my, like, amateur voice actress hours, I try to do, like, role play of, like, characters from, like, Genshin Impact. So I have, like, that going on the side as well that I need to get back into, and people yell at me to get back into it, but I just it's hard to, like, write scripts for stuff. Sometimes I feel a burst of creative energy, sometimes I don't, and it's like I record everything and edit everything myself, and it takes, like, a long time to do, and it's like I have a full-time job, I'm going back to school, there's, like, a lot of things on my plate. I do want to make more, I just need to find, like, the energy to do it because 'cause I'm also just by default, like, a very low energy person. Like, one of the reasons for my name, like, Sleepy, the sleepy part, is because I suffer from I don't know if you know what hypersomnia is. It's, like, the opposite of insomnia where, like, I sleep a lot and I still don't have enough, like, energy to, like, function, to, like, the capacity that I would like to function, like, on a daily basis. So, like, being burdened with that and just, like, you know, like, depression, like, I do suffer from depression as well. Having, like, that weighing on me, it could be hard to find, like, motivation and, like, passion to do things, and so I do want to do these things, and I feel so bad that, I can't find, like, the energy to do them, but I'm, like, working on it, like, every day, like, very slowly. I do want to figure out some kind of groove to fall into to be more active on like my content and producing content. So it's taking me a little while to get there, but I think I'll get there soon.
Where do you think your depression comes from? Like I know some people be like,
Yeah,
man, it's the antisocial side of me, or it's just
yeah,
the thoughts in my head mentally, it's the lack of attention that I
yeah.
receive, et cetera, et cetera. Like, where do you think yours come from?
Well, I mean, my family would tell you that my depression comes from my grandmother because apparently, I don't know if she's officially diagnosed, but they believe that she suffers from depression as well. And I know that it can like skip a generation and like manifest in like the grandchildren, for example. So that could be it. Like that's what my family would tell you, but like um, I don't know, I just have like I've had like an experience in life that really like impacted me like emotionally and it's just like coping with the feelings that I had towards that event. Like it was a loss. It was a loss of something or someone. I like I don't want to go too like deeply into it because I'm still like trying to like navigate that like loss, but you know, there's like feelings of like guilt behind you know, that sort of like situation where I think that's where like my depression manifests, like the feelings of guilt that I have towards losing something very important to me. Um, and then like having people around me like not care about that thing that was like very important to me or that person that was very important to me. So like I think that's where a lot of my depression comes from. Just like overwhelming guilt that I feel. Uh,
Mm.
and I play Dungeons and Dragons to like sort of like cope with that. Interestingly enough, like I have had therapy before, and while I am a huge advocate for getting therapy, like I just haven't found like a therapist that like works for me. Because I know a lot of them are supposed to be like more objective and uh like the experience that I had, which is like a really interesting experience, but like I was seeing a therapist for like the longest time and I felt like I had more of a breakthrough in one interaction with my primary care physician where I told her what was going on with me and she like gave me a hug and like I just getting a hug from her, I don't know why that like felt better than like all of the therapy sessions that I was paying for beforehand. Like just that like warmth and like validation, which like I don't think therapists are allowed to be warm like that, but like receiving that from her, I felt like was just like what I was wanting and like what I was seeking. So um I don't know if I could find like a therapist who's like warm like that, but that really had like an impact on me as well when I was like in a very, very low point in my depression. But yeah, Dungeons and Dragons also like helps me out. Like I made a whole
Hmm.
character who is suffering from like the loss of someone that they loved. And like role playing that has been a very interesting experience. Like role playing through those emotions has sort of like helped me to um I guess come to terms with them. And like I don't know if this character is going to like my hope for my D&D character is that they learn to like cope with death properly. Um and I don't know if they will get to that point, like maybe they spiral, maybe they do get to that point. Like I hope that they do, but I see that as like my opportunity almost to sort of like um learn to cope with my own emotions, you know. So,
No, that's dope.
yeah.
That's dope to hear. Um, yeah, you kind of. I wasn't expecting you to get that deep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we can, like, lighten up again, but yeah.
I did notice one thing you said you got a hug though. I was like, I never took you as a person. I guess through conversations that we had, I just feel as if you physical contact, you just come off to me like you don't necessarily care about it. So I was shocked to hear that a hug meant a
Yeah,
lot to you.
it did mean a lot, and I think that's because, like, my parents aren't super affectionate, you know? Like, we don't really, like, hug each other like that, so I never really grew up with, like, that level of affection directed towards me, and, like, yeah, I can't say that I'm super affectionate either, like, as a person. I think it's mostly because, like, you know, I like to give people, like, space because I like to have space. Uh, And so, like, if somebody, like, came at me to greet me with, like, a hug, yeah, I'll, like, hug them back, like, that's not, like, an issue, but I think that typically, like, I play it as if, people don't wanna be touched. So, I don't really show affection to others, like, in that way. Yeah, like, I guess maybe physical touch isn't, like, the super highest thing on, like, my love languages. I would say more so quality time is, like, very high for me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah, so that
no.
hug meant a lot. That hug, like, canceled out all my
Yeah.
therapy. Crazy, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't care for it. I don't care for the. I like quality time, getting quality time talking to a therapist. But then a hug that you don't necessarily care for is
I
what
don't know.
got it done.
I don't know if I would consider talking to my therapist quality time.
Well,
I
not
felt
like
like
that.
I
Like
was
quality time as a love language with your therapist. Not like that. But
I felt like
like,
I was just being, like, psychoanalyzed, but the hug felt like, I guess, more human and less, like, cold, I guess. So I think that's why I
mm,
appreciated, like, having that kind of warmth from someone. Yeah.
what advice would you give to somebody who is not necessarily, um, well, do you feel as if you struggle with communication? Like from
Do
your
I
perspective, when
struggle?
you want to like communicate how you feel and whatnot.
Um, I mean, sometimes it does take me some time to, like, find my words, and sometimes I need to, step away and, like, have time to myself to, like, think about things. So, I wouldn't consider myself someone who struggles, like, too much with communication. I think that I'm that type of person who struggles in terms of, like, I'll disappear for, like, a couple days, um, and my disappearing is me, like, retreating to, like, do some, like, self-reflection and, like, just have, like, time to myself to, like, get away from things, and I don't communicate that I need time to myself to get away from things sometimes, so maybe that's my poor spot in communication, but, um I try to do my best to take care to listen to, like, people's words and try to understand people's, like, intention behind their words rather than, you know, assuming things, I guess.
Did you hear what
Yeah.
I said?
Did I hear what you said? What happened?
Yeah. Okay, okay. I guess
Did you say
maybe
something?
yeah, I think you were talking, but your mic turned into like some iRobot thing. So you were like going in and out, and then you were sounding like wah, 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 wah,
Oh.
wah, wah. And
Oh,
I was
did it
like,
actually?
okay. Yeah, it did that for a good 10
Oh,
seconds. So I caught the
that's
last 20
weird.
seconds of your talk.
Yeah, my FPS, like, dropped for, like, a hot second. That was really weird.
That might
Um,
be a sign. That might be a sign.
uh, I mean, it's fine now. Did you want me to repeat what I said?
Nah, you're all good. You're good. We heard enough. Like we got the gist of it. Only cut off for like 5, 7 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. Outside of that, I think this was a really, really good conversation. Me personally, I gotta tell you that I fool with you, Sleepy. I fool with you. I think you got a good personality. I think you dope. Like I said, I
Didn't
feel
you
as
just
if
say that I was, like, trash, that I was a bully,
okay,
like, throughout
look,
this
hear
whole
me out, hear
interview?
me out, hear me out. I'm when I my method of showing somebody I fool with them is I bully them. It
That's
is what it is.
crazy.
It is what it is. But nah, seriously though, I really do enjoy your content. I think your
Yeah.
personality is dope. You got a lot of stuff going on for you, and like I said, it's easy to have that conversation with you because once again, I don't have to be like, oh man, do I gotta be self conscious about what I say to Sleepy? No, no,
Yeah.
no, nah. I can just be who I want. I can be me, talk to you how I'm gonna talk to you. You'll know exactly what I mean. And if you do got a question on what I said, I know that you'll speak up about it. So like your assertiveness, but also your calmness is really like authentic, genuine, whatever you want to call it. And it's just
Oh.
really good. You a vibe, you know what I'm saying? You a vibe,
Oh, I'm
a whole
glad.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
happy when people feel like they could be themselves around me because, like, I can't help but be what I presented here, just, like, 100% brutally honest. Maybe not I keep saying, like, brutally honest, maybe not, like, brutally honest, but, like, unauthentic. Wait, hold on, pause. Let me get my words together. I can't help but be authentically myself. It's hard for me to, like, fake being a type of way. And when I do fake being a type of way, it's usually for comedic purposes and people very much know that I'm like playing something up. But like, yeah, this is who I am. I'm just kind of, I consider myself pretty down to earth. So I'm really happy that people feel like comfortable and safe, just sort of being themselves and feeling like they're not judged around me. Cause like, yeah, I'm not that type to like judge people, you know.
Yeah, I
Unless
think the
you're
people.
like super, super weird, in which case maybe I might judge you a little bit, but
Let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10, how weird do you think I am?
that's the thing though. It's like, yeah, the fact that you bully me is weird to me, but
That's
like
crazy. That's crazy.
but it's like, you
Damn.
know, like I don't yeah, I think that we have like very good dialogue and like conversations and I'm glad that like when I do want to be serious and like, you know, talk about something serious, that you're willing to like, you know, draw it back and like listen to like what I have to say. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one right here is gonna be really good because most of the time the interviews come off really formal. This one was
Yeah,
more like this one felt more like a conversation. So I think the
it did.
people who catch this one definitely gonna enjoy it and just appreciate the vibes that came through on here. Is there, of course, as always, y'all, in the description below, you'll get all the links that you'll need so that you can check out Sleepy Siren. Is there anything that you want to say before we dip up out of here? Dip on up out of here? Yeah.
Anything that I want to say? Um, I guess I'll say, I didn't think about this. Final words. Wow. Uh, I guess like never be afraid to be yourself. I know it's gonna sound like super cliche, but
Hell yeah, I know you didn't
yeah,
just end on
I
that.
know, right? Like I think that like presenting yourself like as openly and honestly like as you can is like a good way to find people who like you for who you are, right? Rather than this persona that you put on. So, um don't be afraid to speak up. If you feel like passionately about something, you know, speak your mind, make your voice heard. Things like that. Like uh live your life, eat food, get get lots of sleep.
All
Have a good
right.
night.
And there we have it, y'all. Appreciate y'all checking out Inside the Content with Sleepy Siren. Y'all take care. Peace.
Bye.